Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a bright and early edition of, in this lesson, you are going to answer the question, how can you solve 2 by 2 multiplication problems using partial products? Now, in the last few lessons, we learned about 2 by 1 and 3 by 1 problems. So for example, let's say we learned how to solve a problem like 65 multiplied by 8, right? Because you had 2 digits up here and you had 1 digit down here. Other times you learned how to solve a number like 132 multiplied by 4, okay? Because you had 3 digits up here and 1 digit down here. But now we're going to take it a little bit further, or take it a step further actually, okay? And we're going to solve a problem using partial products, multiplying, let's say, 65 multiplied by 78. Okay? Now it's very similar to how you solved 2 by 1 and 3 by 1 problems, but because you have 4 digits right here, you're going to have 4 partial products. Okay? So I'm going to first start with the ones times the ones. So I have my 5 times 8 right here. And I'll multiply 5 times 8, and that equals 40. And like I've done every time before, I'm going to make sure that I line up my 40 nice and neatly right here. Okay. Now I'm going to start. My next step, or step 2, will actually be to multiply the tens place times the tens place. So that means the 6 and the 7 right here. But as we've talked about in all the other videos, and if you can remember back from our place value unit, this 6 and this 7 are worth 60 and 70. So what we'll do is we'll multiply 60 times 70 and get our second partial product, which will be, let's see, 6 times 7, that's 42, and I see 2 zeros, so it's 4,200. Now folks, this is where it gets critical, which means super important that you take your time, you avoid that you need to rush voice, okay, and you line them up the best you possibly can. So I have 4,200. And if you notice, I've lined up all of my place values so far. Now this is where it gets a little bit tricky. You want to make sure that you go step by step and take your time. I now want to multiply the tens place up here by the ones place down here. And that would be 60, because the 6 is worth 60, or 6 tens. I'm going to multiply it by 8. And I will get, let's see, 6 times 8 is 48. And I see 1 0. So I'll go ahead and I will put, let's see, 0, 8, 4. Now I always like to write these partial products from right to left because it just helps me line them up, especially because of the ones place, to make sure that I line up this ones place perfectly every time. But now, the last partial product, or how you're going to find the last partial product, will be to multiply the tens place down here, the 7, by the ones place, which is the 5. And I know that that 7 is worth 70. Okay, and I'm going to multiply it by the 5, and I know that 70 times 5 is 300. Whoa, what happened there? 350. Okay. And again, I'm going to line them up, and I'm going to, let's see, 0, 5, and 3. Okay? Actually, I'm going to make that a little bit neater for you here. We have, let's see, a 0, a 5, and a 3. Okay? So, I've got my sign and my line. Now it's time to do some adding. So we're going to add up all 4 of these partial products and that will give us our answer. I know that a whole bunch of zeros added together is a whole lot of 0. And I know that 4 plus 8 is 12, plus 5 is 17. Okay, I'll regroup a 1 or a 100 right here. And I know that 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 4 is 7, 7 plus 3 is 10. So we'll go ahead and I'll regroup 100 right here. And I know that 1 plus 4 is 5. So I know it's a little bit tricky to read down here, but I'll go ahead and I'll rewrite the answer. And I know that my answer is, sorry about that handwriting, folks. I know my answer will be 5,070. Okay? So now, what I'd like for you to do is to practice these couple of problems. All right? This first one will be 39. Let's see. Whoop. Multiplied by 45. So what I'd like you to do right now is to solve it on your own. Okay? Hit the pause button. When you're finished solving it, then press play again, and you'll see the steps that I've done. Welcome back. Okay, thanks for hitting the pause button, doing it on your own, and now let's go ahead and try to solve this one together. See if your work in your math thinking and your answer match up to what I'm doing. So I went ahead and I'm going to, let's see, make this a little bit higher. So I'll do the ones place times the ones place, which would be 9 times 5, and I know that that equals 45. So I'll line it up nice and neatly right here. And then I'll go ahead and I'll multiply the tens place times the tens place, which in this case is the 3 and the 4. And I know that 30 times 40 equals 1,200. I don't know what's going on with my pen today. Now, I'll multiply my tens place at the top by my ones place at the bottom here. And I know that 30 times 5 equals 150. I'll line that one up here, writing from right to left. Okay, and then I'll multiply my tens place here in 45 by the 9 up here. And I know that 40 times 9 equals 360. Okay, I'll place my sign and my line, and I'll add up my 4 partial products, which would be 5. Let's see, 4 and 5 is 9, and 6 is 15. And I'll regroup 100 right here. And 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 and 3 is 6. It's 7. Okay. So my answer and your answer, hopefully they match up, is 1,755. So, to cap this all off, folks, what I want to do is give you 2 practice problems to solve on the back side of your organizer. Okay. The first 2 problems should be on the front of your organizer, and these 2 will be on the back. All right. So, kind of practice problem 2, right, will be 16 multiplied by 42, and the third problem will be 26 multiplied by 31. Okay? So, to bring it all back to the beginning here, in this video, what you did is you answered the question, you worked hard at answering the question, how can you solve 2 by 2 multiplication problems using partial products?